In this episode, we traveled to a few beaches along the western side of New Zealand. About 30 minutes outside of Wellington, these spots are almost forgotten hidden gems. We'll first head over to Paekakariki Beach, whose name means Parakeet Perch. Although we won't see any parakeets, we will visit a local bakery and check out the amazing coastline that stretches into the distance. We'll then head over to Pukerua Bay, a small cove with some interesting things to check out. During the hot summer days, this is a great spot to relax on the shoreline and swim in the Tasmin Sea. Finally, we'll travel to Plimmerton Beach, a quaint coastal town with an amazing coastal walk. We are in Paekakariki right now. Let's first go down and look at the beach area. It's very windy today and a bit stormy, so it might not be the best day to go to the beach. See, this is one of the access points right here. Pearl, Flory, and the Bull is the name of this little track right here. And you can see this beach is one where they have the Pukerua little penguins. Right now it's a bit sheltered, but as soon as we get onto this path here, I think it's going to get pretty windy. Oh yeah, very windy. There's Capdi Island in the distance over there. Pukerua Bay is over that way. And then up in the hills, you have the escarpment track, Paekakariki escarpment track. I have a video on that track, one of my earlier videos. Check that out if you're interested. So we can walk along this path a little bit. It is quite windy, so hopefully the mic isn't getting too much wind. Along the way, you have these signs. Kind of historical signs. You can see it's part of the Heritage Trail. So the path goes on quite far, but it is windy. Let's go down these stairs and check out the beach. Penguins are nocturnal, so early in the morning they come back in from the ocean and leave footprints on the beach. It's one of the ways they keep track of the penguins. They count how many footprints they find along the beach in the mornings. I think the tide has been up pretty high, so probably the footprints have been washed away for the day. Let's go check out the town first, and then we'll drive down and check out another section of the beach. They have little spots to relax. There's a signboard over here. That's part of the artist walk, or the arts walk, Paekakariki Arts Walk. So it looks like on this corner right here you have restrooms. Public restrooms, pretty close by. It looks like they're rebuilding the surf lifeguards. And there's a sauna, campfire sauna. over that way. Okay, let's walk over here and check this area out. A lot of the homes here have a historic vibe to them. Very retro feel. Looks like this is a bowling club. Lawn bowling. And it's part of the Heritage Trail as well. You can see the seats over there kind of blown over because of the wind. That one's completely fallen over there. It does get very windy in New Zealand. And I can see a lot of people gearing up to do the Paekakariki escarpment track. I'll show you where the start point is, or sort of where the start point is. It's near the train station. I believe this is also a historic building right here, the old post office. And the church here is also part of the Heritage Trail, St. Peter's. There used to be a sign up here, but maybe they're restoring it now. Yeah, it looks like this is being restored. Oh, here it is. Post office. From the 1850s. Oh no, 1869 was when the first post office was established in the Paekakariki Hotel. This is another historic building, part of the Heritage Trail. Carson's Chemist, which it's now the Wobbly Pot, which always reminds me of a Harry Potter type name. Pretty cool designs. I have a barber shop right here. Empty space. And I believe this is like a bar, restaurant, and a part of the Heritage Trail. Paekakariki Hotel. Neat. They have some of the historic images down here. Wow, look at this. Look at these swimsuits. This is what hanging out at the beach used to be like in 1926. Wow, they even have the train station, 1929. Speaking of which, the train station is way over here. I mean, not that far away, but just right next to the hotel. And so this is a great way to get to Paekakariki. Just ride the train from the city. I think from Wellington it probably would take like 30 minutes, 40 minutes. And if you are interested in doing the Paekakariki escarpment track, you actually walk along the sidewalk, along that corner right there, and you'll see signage for the track. All right, let's go across the road, down the other way. So across the road, you can see this is where the escarpment track signage starts. And basically you just cross here, and then you go down the sidewalk along that way. It's a cool mural on the side of the building here. And you have cafes and restaurants on this side as well. This is the Old Beach Bakery. Alright, just to give you an idea of what I picked up at the bakery. Couldn't resist. So I picked up a chocolate donut, cream donut, and a raspberry muffin. Alright, let's continue on the side of the street. So you have a few cafes and a small dairy. Also a nice grocery store, like a smaller one. Down here too you have the historic church, which is part of the Heritage Trail. And these seats always are kind of funny to me. They've painted the wall to make it look like it's part of the bench. I mean, it works, I guess. Cool little like bike bars, so you can like lock your bikes up if needed. And this is part of the Heritage Trail. This is St. Peter's Church. And here's a good view of the church right here. Overall, Paekakariki is a nice, quaint little beach town. It's also right next to the train, which makes it easy to get to. And a block over this way is the beach. So there's one more section I want to head down to. It's the beach area with the life-saving club, beach life-saving club. I had to park up the road a little bit just because it looks like they have some sort of event going on right now. So let's go check it out, see what it is. You can kind of see this is the feel of the town. It's a really nice little beach community. So yeah, it's still windy down here. Looks like it's an event with the Beach Life Saving Club. Oh wow. This is the section of the beach I'd like to come to swim and to hang out. Primarily because there are lifeguards that are on duty in the summer. Right now it looks like they have an event going on with a bunch of the surf life-saving clubs. So they have all these tents set up. And it looks like they have little competitions going on. It looks like they have toilets and food trucks set up as well. Alright, so this section of the beach is clear. Go down here and I can show you. It is still windy and the beach just stretches on way down this way. Alright, so that's a quick look at Paekakariki Beach. Let's head over to the next spot. So this is Pukerua Bay. Let's take a little look around. So it's summertime here, and you can see it's pretty stormy still. Right now it's spitting a little bit, and there's no one on the beach really because it's a bit cold. So it's a nice little cove, and you can see there are restrooms right here and a shower. But that's about it for any sort of facilities. This is more of a place you would bring a cooler and snacks and drinks. A lot of seaweed has washed up, and even a few large blue bottles. This is a Portuguese man-of-war. So when it's warm and not stormy like it is today, this is a really nice place to swim because it's somewhat sheltered, and you can see the waves don't get too big, especially on a calm day. We're gonna try to walk down over this way because they have some old bunkers. You can see some of the sections of the beach are pretty rocky. You do have a few beach homes down here. It's pretty neat. And the way you get down to the beach is you have to come down this hill. It's a somewhat narrow road. Certain times of the year it's a nice place to explore. You can see a lot of stuff washes up on the sand. You find a lot of like paua shells and kind of these spiral shells. So you have the coastal road running along there, and then you have the train tracks above it. And above that you have the Paekakariki escarpment track, and that goes from Paekakariki all the way here to Pukerua. Not to this beach, but to the train station in Pukerua. So this is the second cove where swimming is pretty good. Right now it looks a bit messy on the beach, and that's because we had a few storms come through which kicked up a lot of the seaweed and other stuff. I think the old World War II bunker is just ahead. So they have a lot of nice tide pools to explore at this end. You'll see more popping up when the tide goes down. Right now I think it's like medium tide right now. All right, here's the old bunker. You can see it's pretty much filled up with sand and wood, so there isn't much really to see except the remnants. And this is what it looks like inside. Looks like it's boarded up right there too. You can see we walked from way over there. It's a nice walk just coming down along the beach, but I'm not quite sure if it's worth it just to come to see the old bunker, but it is a nice walk. It's also a great spot to get a nice photo of the bay. Let's walk back and check out another section. A bit further down, there's a nice area to also do some tide pool exploring. Let's go check it out. So the other spot is about a minute or two just down this road. This is the tide pool section of Pukerua Beach. Right now the tide isn't too low, but you can see some pools forming. and they're fun to look around. And back over this way, there's a trail that goes along the coastline. And I believe it wraps all the way to Plimmerton Beach. And back this way, you can see where we came from, the beach cove in the distance over there. This area is more rugged and rocky. Definitely not a place to swim. All right, that wraps up Pukerua Beach. Time to head over to the next spot. So we're here in Plimmerton. So Plimmerton Beach has a downtown area when you first enter, and you can park your car here and go to a few of the shops. Let's take a look around. They have a few historic buildings here. This is St. Andrew's Taupo Plimmerton Heritage Trail. It was built in 1916. Wow. Interesting retro design with the weatherboards. Looks like you have a few cafes around here. Medical center across the road. And then on this corner over here, you have a dairy. Let's cross the road and grab some ice cream. Looks like there's another historic building on this corner here. This is an interesting design. This is number 17 on the Heritage Trail. It was built as a holiday home in the late 1890s. That's a really nice design. So this is one of the cafes. Here's a dairy, a good place to grab ice cream. All right, so that's the downtown area of Plimmerton, or Plimmerton Beach. This is the downtown area of Plimmerton Beach, so there's not going to be too many shops. Plimmerton is a bigger city, so driving away from the beach, you'll find grocery stores and other shops. So walking back toward the entrance of Plimmerton, noticing a few of these side streets going down to connect to the beach. We parked down one of these roads, so I'll go check out the beach real quick. Looks like there's a bed and breakfast right here on this corner. So with Plimmerton, you have a train station here. It's pretty easy to get to from Wellington. I'd say it's about probably a 30-minute train ride. Although I haven't ridden the train from Wellington to this beach, I usually drive here. And throughout you have these little green park areas, which are great spots to stop by and have some lunch. All right, let's go check this area out. I've come to Plimmerton Beach before, and I've done the walk starting from this point. go check that video out if you want to get a better view of this walkway. So it looks like the tide is really high right now and we're getting waves splashing up, so I don't want to get too close. Oh yeah, wow. These are the stairs usually to go down. Pretty cool. All right, so we're gonna go get in the car and drive around. We're gonna drive a bit further down and park and check out the beaches further along this walkway. The tide is pretty high right now, so I don't know how much we can go onto the sand or even onto the tide pool areas. Oh yeah, so the tide is covering the entire beach, but we're gonna park around here and check it out. So we picked up some of these Tip Top ice cream chalk bars. They look pretty good. We're gonna go eat them out there on the bench. All right, let's try this ice cream out. Really nice. Tip Top is one of the main brands in New Zealand for like ice cream. So this is one of the beach coves of Plimmerton. You can see in the distance over there, that's a boat harbor. And right now, the tide is pretty high. So you only have this section for swimming and laying on the sand. And you can see you have the homes just across the road right here. So if you go down this way on the beach, it gets a bit more rocky. I imagine these rocks were brought in to build up the sort of beach berm before the homes to protect against erosion. When the tide's low, it's a good area to do some tide pooling. And so right now I'm back on the sidewalk. And this walkway I'm on extends all the way back to the shops, and it keeps going all the way down to the boathouse. And so along the walk you have these little coves of tide pools, rocks, and sometimes sand, little beachy areas. As you keep going down the coast, along that way you'll get to Pukerua, and eventually you'll make your way to Wellington. So we were just down the beach over there. And down at this end they have public restrooms. So usually during low tide you'll see the sand along here, but since the tide is pretty high, it's going up to the breakwater. Oh, in the water here you can see little fish. All right, you can see all the boats parked here. Looks like at the end here they have a little restaurant. It looks like a good popular fishing spot. And what I like about this spot is you get a really good view of the coastline. Water is very clear today. Let's go down this little pier. And here's a view from the pier. All right, so that's Plimmerton Beach. In my opinion, it's a great little spot. It's close to the trains and has a really great walk along the waterfront. We're down a bit further along the walkway, and you can see down the coast over here. It gets a bit more rugged, a bit more rocky. You have tide pools you can explore. And the coastline just keeps wrapping all the way along. And I believe you can keep going along here and just keep wrapping around there and you'll get to Pukerua Bay. Here are more of the rugged areas of the beach. You can see the rocks sticking out. This is one of the rugged rocky areas with tide pools. You can see the tide is going out, so can do some exploring here. So in New Zealand, these are called paua, but in the US, I think mostly they're called abalone. There's different types. This is a shell of one. It's getting quite windy down here, but hopefully this gives you a good idea of more of the rugged side of Plimmerton Beach.